Hey everybody, Alex here for Nerdy Inc. coming at you with another episode of Our Favorite Frontier, the only Star Trek podcast on the internet that's hosted by me and Nick. Hey Nick.
Hey Alex, how are you?
I'm doing well. We are discussing the episode Loud as a Whisper.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
Loud as a Whisper.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Loud as a Whisper.
Huh. Interesting.
Captain's log, stardate 42477.2. The Enterprise has been diverted to the Ramatis star system. It seems that both sides of a bitter planetary conflict have petitioned Starfleet to transport to their world a mediator they have mutually selected. Our orders are transportation only, no interference.
Reduce to half impulse.
Reducing velocity to 1/2 impulse.
Nick, what did you think of Loud as a Whisper?
Painful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
it.
really didn't want. I really wanted to like this episode. I was like, "Come on, give me something to work with here," and I really wanted to try to like it, but I didn't because it wasn't good.
You want to know what I liked about this episode?
What's that?
They kept on track, at least.
Yes, they did for the most part. There was a little bit of a digression, I'd say, with a certain engineer, but overall, yes, they did keep on track. Tell us what happened in this episode. What was the bit?
The bit was, there are these two civilizations fighting on this planet, and they need a negotiator to resolve the issue. So they wish for the best negotiator in, I'm assuming, the universe, Riva, who was not played by Reba, very disappointed. Though they go and see Riva, Picard, Worf, and Riker, that's his name, guy with the beard. Oh my god. And they go to talk to Riva, find out that Riva is actually deaf, and has 3 interpreters, communicate for him. And this is a big deal to have 3 different interpreters for the 3 different areas of the emotional, conversational brain. And they talk about that for quite a bit. And he's in love with Deanna Troi, and he wants to get all up in that. So then they bring him onto the Enterprise, give him a tour, and then he's just trying to talk people. He finds Geordi's face mask to be extremely, interesting. They set up a conversation between the two civilizations that are fighting, and one goes crazy and vaporizes the shit, graphically I may add, to the interpreter, the chorus, if you were, and they realize that they have to come at it with a different approach, though now our interpreter cannot speak. So Data has to learn sign language, and Deanna Troi has to learn how to interpret the emotions for them to have a peaceful resolve, which they never really show. A lot of tell, no show in this episode.
Yes. Don't forget the little wrap-up to Geordi LaForge's subplot that he's offered a surgery. You notice how I didn't finish my sentence? That's because that didn't really have a payoff, did it?
No.
He's just sort of given some options. He's like, all right, and then
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Is that even brought up again?
No.
Are you fucking kidding?
Oh, I mean, it's maybe they'll discuss Geordi's. I mean, he wears a visor for the rest of the show. I don't recall a specific instance in the show where he says where he gives a firm answer about his eyes. So no, I'm gonna say no. That's never brought up again.
Oh my god, this show gives me just I don't get it. These people were paid money to write the show.
Yes.
For the easiest job they ever did.
So, fun fact about this episode, since you mentioned writing. The actor who plays Riva, his name is Howie Seago, I'll say, is a deaf man. He is actually deaf in real life, and he came to the producers of Star Trek and was like, hey, I want an episode about this. And they're like, okay. So this whole episode exists because he just wanted to be in it. And I never knew the barriers for Star Trek entry were so low. Let's see I'm looking at his he doesn't even have a filmography section on his YouTube page.
His YouTube page?
Sorry, his Wikipedia page. There's nothing here. There's no filmography section, so I can't see his list of things in chronological order.
So you're telling me some deaf dude went out to the writers and said, hey, write an episode about me, and they're like, okay, some random deaf dude.
Yeah, looks like it.
Are you kidding me?
Well, to be fair, it says he had done acting in the past on stage. He was a stage actor. He was part of the National Theater of the Deaf while he was in college. And Star Trek he had an appearance on Hunter and Star Trek The Next Generation. So this was like his second credit, I guess. So, I mean,
oh my God.
Good for him, I guess, for just nailing that role.
He did nothing.
Well, I'm saying, like, if I were to go up to CBS and be like, hey, you're doing Discovery, put an episode in about an Italian guy, mid-20s, who likes to talk about movies. Put him in your show.
But you're not an Italian guy. You're an American guy. You're an Italian ancestor. You're not Italian. You're American.
Italian-American man. I can play Italian, though. This man's not really
No, you
an
can't.
alien.
You could not play Italian.
What are you talking about?
You can't. You can't do it. Say something. Say, be Italian. Do it.
19.
Oh my God. Do not.
I said a real word.
Oh my God, you can speak Italian. I can look up words too.
I said 19.
How is that going to help you? Is that going to be helpful in the episode?
It could be. They'll be like, what's the shield at? And I'll be like, 19.
And that's it. That's your audition. You're going up to Gene Roddenberry in the 80s and saying, put me on your show. This is what I got. You're going to say 19.
Yeah.
I think I'll take you.
So what else?
I think the bar is that low.
So, anyway, back to the episode. My big complaint with it is that it's fucking incredibly boring. Like you said, there's lots of telling, not a lot of showing, and I agree, particularly in the incredibly, incredibly long sequence when they're just sort of being introduced to him in his little house area. These people are explaining, I'm the intellect, and I like this, and I'm also sort of an artist, and then I'm the libido, I'm the passion, I'm also the warrior. These people didn't act like that at all. The man who was the warrior should have had more bravado in his voice, and he should have been more ready to go and more like this when he's talking. But then he looks at Deanna Troi, and he starts talking as if he was a lover who was impassioned. And then the intellect would be a little bit more calculating, a little like they didn't sound like the things that they were supposed to be.
Also, I'm surprised they didn't argue with each other.
Yeah.
Like kind of a logic versus passion type of thing. Like he has the three areas of them to help him communicate, but I'm surprised between them they don't talk.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense if they're all just still relaying his thoughts, though. Like,
also, how are they getting his thoughts?
I was just about to ask that. Are they telepathic, or is it just
they never mention it,
or they just know his? Okay, so
they know Deanna was an empath, so they have to have some.
It says Wikipedia claims they are in telepathic communication with them. So maybe
they should have.
Maybe we both missed that line. Well, they did a poor job.
Well, what about that deaf guy? Picard starts talking to him, and he turns to Picard.
I noticed that too. He's like,
I was so pissed about
Riva, and Riva turned. He's like, yes, they're talking to me now.
You shouldn't know that.
Yeah, so basically my big issue with this episode is it was one of the slowest, most boring episodes I've ever watched in my entire life. We get long, painful sequences of nothing happening. Realistically, I don't really feel like his dinner with Deanna Troi added anything to either of their characters. The closest thing I guess you could pull out of that scene, the very least, is it shows that he's arrogant. Because the guy did say, "Oh, we don't need our interpreter," and he sent the interpreter away. And then he's like, "We can talk without the interpreter." But then when they're dead and they remove that safety net, then he sort of becomes
A little bitch.
yeah, he becomes much more unsure of his abilities. But I think that's a stretch. I just think that scene was in there because they hadn't given Deanna Troi enough lines in the last couple episodes.
A little quota.
Yes, her quota was not met.
No, I love, this is what I noticed. Data, he goes and learns the sign language, the different sign languages, so he can interpret with them. And him and Picard go to talk to Riva. And at one point, Data is signing for Picard to show Riva, and then he just gives up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was so funny.
Speaking of Data learning sign
just
language,
didn't care. He just didn't care.
my favorite thing about Data is that whenever he needs to learn something from the computer, like he doesn't have like a USB port in his thumb that he can just like stick into the computer. He actually has to look at it. I just find that funny.
Well, I'll tell you why, because the technology didn't exist, but I don't understand why they didn't just invent that, like, idea.
Yeah, it's. I mean, a plug isn't a new idea. They had plugs in the 80s. Computer monitors had to plug into computer towers.
You don't know this for sure. You weren't born then. You weren't there.
That is technically true, but I also can look at pictures. So, I know it was in the 80s.
All right. Whatever you say.
Yeah,
Because
anyway.
just plug them in.
Here's my,
Also,
yes.
what's his battery life? How does he, when he sleeps, does he recharge? Does he even do that?
I actually have been involved in many conversations in my life about what powers Data. The answer is no one knows.
Many conversations?
Yes.
Several people.
Yes.
Let's get them on right now.
I don't know any of their names. We were waiting in line to get Jonathan Frakes' signature at a Star Trek convention.
And you didn't even ask him? Although, I don't know why Jonathan Frakes would know.
Yeah, we didn't ask. No, I was talking to other Star Trek fans who were getting signatures. And Brent Spiner wasn't there. He's one of the signatures who I'm missing.
Well, we gotta find that for you.
Yeah. Anyway.
But no one knows Data's
No, it's not really
life
discussed.
power. How is that not discussed?
Because if you're going to have a Data episode, usually they want to get into Data's mind rather than his battery pack. Usually a Data episode is more like, oh, here's an interesting philosophical question about Data, rather than like what happens if he runs out of power.
Well,
I just don't think they care.
I heard that his battery pack is fully functional.
That it is. Anyway, back to the episode. My biggest frustration, and this comes from lots of episodes of Star Trek that we've said so far, my big frustration is that the moral of the story is crammed in the last 5 minutes to make it seem poignant. The idea of these people need to learn to communicate with each other, and as we learn to communicate, we'll be really hearing each other and understanding each other, and that will get people to listen when we're in what would otherwise be a hostile negotiation. That is a nice idea with some solid heart that gets so lazily shoehorned into the last 10 minutes that it just makes me resent that scene of Deanna Troi and him eating dinner all the more. Because I'm like, this is time that could have been devoted to like really making this, fleshing out this theme in a way that isn't, it's on par with Tasha Yar's "Don't do drugs" speech. It's just
Hey, that's gonna prevent me from doing drugs.
yeah, it's just face value, just saying the theme as blatantly as you can. I hate it. I hate it, Zoe. My cat's over there. I just got a new carpet, and she's sitting on the carpet because she really likes it.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
one other fun little point. For all the shortcomings of this episode, it has a really fucking awesome gun shoot scene.
Where they vaporize the hell out of those people?
They vaporize, like, their bones disintegrate at a different rate as the rest of their flesh.
Why did the chorus die in a unit?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought about that too, because he fired one shot, and unless they were all touching, they all just vanished at the same time.
Yeah, like also they both spoke English. Both groups. Why can't they communicate that way? Why do they have to sign? Why don't we ever get to see the resolve in that? I have no closure. Half these episodes, I don't have closure what happens.
To be fair, the resolve is that it's not going to be quick and easy. The resolve is it's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take months, but we have faith that he'll do it. It's supposed to be sort of an optimistic thing that says, hey, doing the right thing ain't easy sometimes, but, put in the hard work and you'll do it. So it's supposed to be optimistic without being... I mean, it would have been unrealistic if they fixed everything in 5 minutes. I'll give the show that much.
I would take an 80s montage.
Ooh, I'm back on your side now.
No, do they do any 80s montages in this?
I am not going to say no, definitively.
Because you're not sure, or because I am for a surprise?
I don't know. I feel like I've in my head I can see a montage of just like it's no Rocky montage, but it is like bum 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 bum, but like a dramatic Star Trek song, and you see people on the crew members of the crew doing different science stuff to like prep the Enterprise for battle or something. That could be in there, but I don't remember, so I don't want to say no.
I feel like we need more montage, and I feel like we just need to re-rate the show
to be more montagey.
Yeah, could we go back and do that? Or could they have us write Discovery? Because apparently they'll take any idea.
Let's pitch it to Discovery. Let's pitch the return of the 80s montage to Star Trek Discovery.
I can't see how it would go wrong.
I would make a joke about Discovery's quality, but to be fair, I've only watched some of the episodes.
I'm not going to pay for CBS All Access to watch it.
I need to... What I'm probably going to do with Discovery is, if it doesn't come out on Blu-ray, I'm going to, when I know I have free time, I'm going to get a week's like free trial and just binge it that week. But I have not had the time to binge watch an entire season in a week because I have a mighty busy schedule with all of our shows here at Nerdy Inc.
Yes. We're a very busy bunch here.
We are.
All right. Well, I don't know what else we could talk about because we beat to death all the categories that we can only talk about for really 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's not... If there were things that happened in this episode, we would gladly have discussed them, but unfortunately, nothing happened this episode.
All right.
So...
Well, Alex, what are we watching next week?
We are watching the episode... The Schizoid Man.
Ooh.
Oh my. What is this? Trash.
The Schizoid Man. Like is King Crimson going to be in the episode? And they're going to play their song?
I have absolutely no idea. Oh, wait. Yo, we're a couple episodes away from a great episode, though. Yeah, we have 2 episodes that I don't remember the quality of, and then we get to episode 8, A Matter of Honor, and that's a banger.
Banger?
Yeah. And then episode 9 is the bangerest of bangers.
This is the best episode of the series?
It's the best episode of... I'd say it's top 10 of the series, yeah.
All right.
And it's a Data episode.
Well, I can't imagine it not being one because he's the best.
Yep.
I feel that way now. That's how I feel. I like Data.
I'm glad. Everyone does. but we still got 3 more episodes to go till we get there. 2 more episodes of quality of which I am unsure. One that's good and one that's great.
Send me good wishes, people, so I can get through this.
2 more weeks. That's all we need.
I need your Facebook comments, your YouTube comments. Pray for me. I can get through this. And then I can understand.
Indeed. But we're going to sign off here. And we're not going to sign language off here. We're just going to sign off here. Was that a good joke?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, well, you're going to hear it in the episode then. I'm not going to go back and repeat myself.
I'm deaf now.
Okay. If you've enjoyed this video...
I got a good episode idea for you, because I'm deaf now.
If you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff is much appreciated, and we will see you next time. Our Favorite Frontier is hosted by Alex Russo and Nick Caladona, edited by Alex Russo, and produced by Nerdy Inc. Be sure to follow us on YouTube to catch all of our videos, as well as like us on Facebook, Twitter, and whatever other social media we have.